Hey everyone, welcome to this next episode of dubbed Drink Up, Burn Down. Steve Kwan, Paul Horn, Chad Narani. Here today, we're going to talk about food. So obviously we're going to have a cocktail. We always have a little cigars. Right now we're on a little pre-cigar because we're about to cook some steaks today. And we're going to debate, can you eat while you have a cigar? Obviously you can have a cocktail while you have a cigar. What's the wine we have today, Paul?
We have Camus.
Camus today, a nice red wine that we're going to pair with some steak.
Cabernet.
Enjoy the background music because we have a random party behind us while we're getting ready to film. They just decided to start right now, so it should be interesting. So what did you guys think about the round of golf today?
It was fun golfing, but I'd rather forget about the round, score-wise.
That's fair. What'd you shoot?
106.
106.
106.
I shot a miserable 95. Steve?
I shot a modest 83.
After just shooting like a 78 the other day.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I think.
It was yesterday.
Yeah. How many strokes did we give this guy?
First we started out just giving him one stroke a hole, so 18 strokes. And then after the second hole, he was a little bit discouraged, so we upped that by 50%.
I was only
and
like
gave him
+7 on the
27
first two,
strokes.
so I mean-
We gave you 27 strokes.
Yeah, 27 strokes.
27 strokes. You should have taken us to the cleaners.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda. I
Fortunately-
still made $3 though.
Fortunately,
Still
I
made
only
$3.
lost $3 out of that, giving him 27 strokes.
27 strokes. And I didn't lose any money from him, so that's a win.
Steve,
That's a
times-
win.
Winning.
How many times do you golf a week?
Twice.
Twice a week? How often do you golf?
Maybe every other week if I'm lucky.
So just to be fair, this is my 4th outing in the last 2 years. So I've got a little bit of ground to cover with you guys. That is for sure.
You got plenty of time for that.
That's fair. All right, guys. So let's pause this. Let's get into some cooking. Let's get those steaks on the grill, and let's bring it back in just a few minutes.
We got the grill going right now. It's been going on for about 15 minutes. It's nice and toasty right now. I have 3 fresh prime rib. We tried looking for bone-in prime rib, but they seem to be all out. I blame it on the pandemic, but we were able to find some really fresh, really prime, cut. And so we got them last night at the butcher's, and they're ready to be primed and cooked. So
I like it. So let's get to it.
yeah. All right, so we have our steaks right here, and the one thing that I really like to do is I got a little olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, and what I do is to keep this from sticking to the grill and having the salt stick to the meat, I basically just rub a little bit of olive oil around this, and so we can get a nice little stickage, if that's even a word.
All right, everyone. So we're back. Steaks just came off the grill from Chef Kwan, piping hot. We also got some fresh mashed potatoes grilled by Mrs. Kwan. You'll meet Raquel in a future episode. We'll introduce her as well. So we're looking forward to a delicious tasting. We got a wine. Again, Paul mentioned Camus that we're going to pair this thing with. And I mean, guys, let's see how this tastes.
Yeah. Let's dig in. It's that kind of taboo thing, right? Can you smoke a cigar with your food? And I've been told no, but I've done it and I've enjoyed it. So curious to have you guys try this and see what your thoughts are.
I actually have been to a steakhouse in Colorado. This was a long time ago when smoking wasn't as frowned upon, and people were enjoying cigars in the balcony, right? Outside seating, of course. They weren't doing it indoors, and they were enjoying their full meal. So I have never done it. This is my first time.
Same.
Yeah, and Paul has suggested that he knows a lot about pairings and things like that, and he suggested that maybe we should go with something that is a mid
a medium to full
full
cigar.
flavor
Kind of need to
cigars.
cut through. I mean, steak has a very good taste. The wine has a very distinct taste. You need something that's going to be able to cut through that, but also complement it.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
the trick.
So we were talking this morning, and we, through just plethora of cigars, I asked the team here if it was okay if I chose Hoyo de Monterrey, and this happens to be a governor. It's a Toro, and what's great about this is that it is a mid to full flavor, and it's sort of the around the world cigar. What I mean by that is, take for instance the wrapper. The wrapper is an Ecuador Sumatra wrapper. It's also the binder is a Connecticut binder, and the filler is a combination of Dominican, Honduran, and Nicaraguan. So you kind of have the full taste and one of the more seasoned growers of cigars. And so I'm very, very excited and interested in seeing how this thing pairs.
Let's bite into that steak first.
Absolutely, let's
We need
do
to
it.
Get some of this flavor first, guys. Sorry to eat on camera. We know that's also semi-frowned upon. But we need to know how good the steak tastes before we bite into it and light that cigar up. So,
Some good
look
stuff.
at that.
If you
Still pink on the inside.
Oh my God.
Delicious bite of steak.
Oh my God, that is good.
And you know it's a good steak when you don't need a lot of seasoning and you can just taste the meat and it's so good.
It cut through so cleanly too.
Yep.
Oh,
All right.
Paul.
Got wine in there too.
Cheers.
run us
everyone.
through this.
Salud.
Prost.
Run us through this.
Talk us
What?
through the Camus.
All right, so this is one of my personal favorites. Me and my wife absolutely love it. It's a cab from Napa Valley. Camus is the name of the winery. They've been around since I believe 1971. One of the consistently best wines out there. This wine's really good. Like, this is a 2019, so you can go pick this up at the store and just uncork it. But these wines do actually get better with age. So if you have the chance of having a Camus like a 2016 right now or 2014, it's just liquid gold. It's fantastic.
It tastes wonderful. My gosh, this is
Yeah.
great.
Alright guys, so now that we got cool bites in,
Now we gotta.
we know how good the steak is.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty
Let's
good.
light these cigars up.
Hey, hold on. Let me just. When you said, "Oh, it doesn't need much seasoning," I was gonna do this. Uh-oh. But what do you guys really think about the steak?
It's delicious.
Right?
Steak is very good. Wine is very good.
All right.
So now let's light these cigars up, guys. Right, we got a little bit of flavor. We know what the steaks taste like. We know how good they are. With a fresh mouth, fresh palate, cleaned out with water. Steaks, potatoes, wine, delicious. Light these things up.
Yeah, you have my cigar lighter.
Oh, you like this one better than that one?
Oh shoot.
It's a nice
These guys
sweet
behind us sound like their partying is still good too. The
Yep.
music's down a little bit, so sorry, no more background music. So we'll have to filter some in a little bit. But they're definitely having a good party. This cigar tastes delicious too.
It's good, yeah.
Can I have that lighter?
All right, so here we go. Taboo. Let's go with the steak.
Let's see, is it taboo or not? How does it taste? The cigar tastes delicious.
Oh yeah.
I think they go very nice. You got the kind of buttery beef flavor of the steak. Got the cigar there. I think it tastes wonderful.
You don't mind the smoke either.
Honestly, I do not. It tastes great. Like the cigar pierced right through the steak. I can still taste all the flavor in the steak.
Take a puff of
Just
the
adds a little bit of smokiness to it. Honestly, it's delicious.
yeah.
Also pairs well with the Camus, man. Like the blend is
wow.
actually delicious together.
Wow. The smokiness
It's
brings
just-
out some
yeah.
different flavors on the Camus I haven't really
It
experienced
does.
before.
Really?
Yeah. That is fantastic. Good call
Let
on
me
the
try
start
just
here.
the Camus in the cigar and see if there's a difference. Yeah. It actually works, guys, really well.
Wow, this is nuts. Restaurants should be taking notes.
Wow. Like seriously, man.
Absolutely.
That might be why some of the cigar lounges, especially the local ones here in like Lake Forest, El Toro area, do Mediterranean food in the cigar lounges. Mm-hmm. So cocktails, Mediterranean food, and cigars.
Yeah, one of my favorite pairings was actually with hummus, with a good cigar.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, I feel like they're onto something.
Yep.
Absolutely. Guys, maybe we should open up a restaurant. No.
Nah.
No.
I worked in food and beverage. Definitely not something I want to go back to. Kudos to all of you that do it. Right? We value that service so much. But honestly, mostly it's just the hours, guys. I like my Monday through Friday, weekends when I want to, but never required to. It'll be so hard to be back in food and beverage.
Understandable. Oh, this is fantastic.
It's delicious, right?
I'm thoroughly enjoying this.
Yeah. It's a good mix, guys. This was a fantastic idea. All right, hey guys. So we're back, and that meal was delicious. I'm also remarkably stuffed. I feel like these guys are also stuffed. So a little precursor to all that. So we played around of golf this morning, and I had a hamburger for lunch because I didn't have breakfast this morning. On the way back here, when we're getting ready to film, they said, you know what? We have some guests coming over tonight too. What if we don't have enough food? So I needed to stop for a few double-doubles. So we each had at least a double-double.
You had two.
I had two. And all to preface that steak. So it's not like we were starving waiting to eat, right? It's at the end of the day, we wanted to make sure that we weren't starving so we could really see, is this really such a good pairing? Honestly, it was delicious. Like, I love the steak, mashed potatoes. It paired remarkably well with the wine. And then pulling out this Hoya, the Hoya in the steak was great. And then all of a sudden I tried the wine, and it all came together remarkably nicely. What do you guys think about it?
I think you're right. I think the Camus just tied everything together. Like, I think you're totally fine with the steak and the cigar, but having that good glass of wine, it just made things so much more buttery. It was so good.
Yeah.
Just tied everything together so nicely.
I agree with you, and it took me a little while to get there because I took a bite of my steak and I took a hit of my cigar, and I didn't really experience something that I was hoping to. And it didn't hit me until I took a sip of my wine, and that's when everything sort of blended together. And I got to be honest with you, I mean, the whole notion and the whole, going through the experience of eating, smoking, and drinking, this combination, I mean, I'd say that this was a huge success. I mean, it paired very, very well. And to your point, I mean, the wine really did it for me.
I love it because, it's kind of like two separate taboos. Like, some people think you can't drink wine with cigars. Some people think you can't eat steak with cigars. And we did both of them, and I think, I dare say, it turned out fantastic.
I agree. I'm still having my cigar with the wine, and it pairs fantastic. So, now this one, the script. What do you think from a practical sense? Could we ever actually do this in a setting if we were on a double or triple date? Right? Or is this something only for those big cigar smokers? Because I could tell you, if I were to at home and we were going to cook steaks, and I were to put down and say, honey, I'm going to have a cigar with our meal tonight, she'd probably slap me in the face and say, no dice.
I think on a date, like one-on-one setting, I don't think it's going to fly. I think if you're in a group setting, doing a barbecue, got the kids running around, I think in that sort of setting where it's kind of known that people smoke cigars, I think it'd be totally acceptable in that sort of setting.
You think that they'd be okay with us having cigars right around the table with all of us, like the lunch table, we're all eating some steaks?
Well, we got the guys' table and the girls' table. Make a junior high dance, right, on each side.
We'd have to probably be like 40 feet away because I can tell you, Kim can smell it freaking a mile away. She walks in the house and is like, yeah, you smoked this afternoon, didn't you?
I don't think my wife would really mind, but I will tell you she'd rather go out shopping, and while I did this with folks that, really will, enjoy the whole experience of smoking, eating, and drinking. So I'd say that, I'd be more comfortable with being around people that are doing and partaking.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've done something similar like this before at company events, like a Christmas party.
Yep.
Done something similar to this before, so I think in the right setting, it absolutely can make sense, but I agree, Chad, I think you're right. By and far, it's not going to be an everyday sort of thing that you can get away with.
Yep.
Certainly worth trying at least one time.
I concur. So I think that's kind of the call to action is, hey, if you're a cigar fan, and you're a steak fan, or really any meal to be for that matter, right? It doesn't need to be steak and cigars. It could be any meal that you really love. Just try it. If you've never tried having a cigar with your meal, I'd say you got 3 of us right here. 2 of us that never tried it. 1 had. He said you got to try it, and honestly, I'm a believer. Like, it was fantastic together. You know, it might be the fact that it was like a red meat with a red wine, and the cigar paired well with it. Maybe it doesn't go well with like a chicken fettuccine. Like, who knows? But it's definitely worth a try if you have that favorite food, and you have that favorite drink and a favorite cigar.
Did you say chicken fettuccine doesn't go well?
I said, who knows?
Oh,
I don't know. I love chicken fettuccine.
Yeah,
But I don't know if it, but I would have that with a white wine instead of a red wine.
I would be really curious to try pork or like a good salmon or some sort of a good fish.
Right.
See how that pairs with the different wines. And
I mean, like, what I could tell you is what I
other
thought
drinks.
the cigar made the steak a little bit more smoky,
for sure.
right? Which makes sense, right? We're smoking. So, but it honestly, it brought a whole different flavor in the steak. And so, I mean, think like a smoked salmon could be fantastic with a cigar.
That's a fair point.
Right, so but that's the thing. I think it probably does depend on the food. Maybe not every food would have paired so well.
And Paul, good call on the full flavor,
Thank
more
you.
closer to a full flavor.
Yep.
I couldn't have agreed with this. You know, originally I picked a more milder cigar, and he kind of vetoed me this morning, and I started processing it, going, and then of course now I'm realizing what a great idea it was. So kudos.
Occasionally have a good idea.
One time.
Ask my wife, but it's about one a year.
Yeah, one a year.
Yeah.
So guys, I feel like what we're missing, right? And we had talked about potentially doing it at the same time, but that'd be too long of an episode. Is we're just missing a good dessert,
I really could use a good dessert right now.
right? So
And finish everything off.
I'm sensing that our next episode, we're going to repeat food, but it's going to be dessert instead. So the question mark is, what's the drink, what's the cigar, and what's the dessert?
Oh, hold on. I'm not gonna grill no dessert, guys.
Sure you can.
So that's another call to action. Is there any dessert we can grill? Like maybe grilled pineapple, but does that really count as a dessert?
That's
No.
a good question.
Because then we could try that Hawaiian whiskey,
Oh, that's right.
right?
Yeah, my buddy Jim Glick from up north sent me a Hawaiian whiskey that I'm dying to try. Jim, thank you very much, by the way. And perhaps we can. I don't know. Let's.
Who
You
knows,
had me
guys?
sold on that rice dish though too.
Oh yeah. So Raquel, my wife, makes amazing, like pineapple fried rice inside, and she serves it inside the pineapple, of course. So perhaps I can kind of ask her to do that.
So maybe that's going to have to be a future episode, Hawaiian
Yeah.
whiskey with pineapple fried rice. Now we still have to figure out
my gosh.
the right dessert, the right cigar, and the right drink. But honestly, I feel like that's something they should all wait for in the next episode.
And
I
if you
agree.
have ideas, let us know. Leave them in the
Especially
comments.
if you know a dessert that we can grill, we all grill. Otherwise, we got to buy some dessert.
I ain't grilling. I have no more hair.
I mean, maybe we could try grilling ice cream, but I don't know that it's going to work so well.
How about something chocolatey?
Chocolate feels like the given. Is there anything that we can do to kind of push the boundaries there?
Chocolate and caramel.
So
Maybe like a chocolate caramel brownie can be grilled. I mean, we
Lo-
probably got to make the brownies first, to be
chocolate
fair.
lava cake?
Mmm.
I can work with that. I can work with that.
With a little ice cream, vanilla ice cream?
That's what I was thinking. Something cold.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you'll have to tune in next episode to see what we all decide on. Otherwise, definitely leave some comments and feedback. Let us know your thoughts, and we will always take comments into consideration. And we'd love to see you all back next time. Please subscribe.
Cheers.
Cheers.
He just said play.
I love, Steve, that you play down to my level when I play with you. Because you hit like a 77 or whatever yesterday.
And how
you're
many
like,
strokes
what,
did we
7?
give you? 27? Who does that?
I mean,
Nice.
There's not even
guys.
27 holes. Yeah. Who gave him 27 strokes?
I know.
And it got me a whopping $3.
$3.
Hey, you won money.
That's the whole objective.
I want money. I was have money. Give me money.
Yeah, at the end of the day, guys, it's not
So
about the
bad
money,
today.
man. You don't do dollar a hole, and it's about the money. $5 a hole, maybe it's about the money. Dollar a hole, not about the money.
It's
You
ju-
know we
it's
don't
just-
play for no $5 a hole.
I was just pissed off
$20.
because we didn't do a $5 birdie today, and I got that birdie.
You never said anything. We just said
We
keep
always
it.
do $5 birdies.
Chad never believes in himself. That's
Well,
We always do $5
Chad,
birdie.
Chad, but
He actually bet me
I
dollar
would've-
closer to the hole,
I would have said
and I
yes.
sucked the birdie.
I would have said yes, but I didn't want him to feel uncomfortable. So he was a new guy, and I'm just saying, he's a new guy in the group.
Blame the new guy. Yeah, I see how it is.
No, but
Yeah,
would you
yeah.
have said yes to a $5 birdie? Because your chance of making a birdie is zilch. I'm not trying to be mean right
Yeah.
now.